Bro, we are most certainly in the first inning, and it's getting ready to explode. $300,000 to $500,000 Bitcoin price, I think. That's not the entire gold market, but I don't think the whole gold market is a value market anyway. I think some of it's jewelry. Doesn't even include the silver market. We've already exceeded silver. Also, I think we have to get through the Bitcoin is a better deal than owning Google, Nvidia, or Facebook.
Venture CEO Gary Cardone predicts that Bitcoin could soon reach a price between $300,000 and $500,000, despite challenges like regulatory uncertainty and scams. He sees Bitcoin as a stronger investment compared to tech giants like Google or Facebook. Cardone also foresees Bitcoin's market value growing to $1 trillion, especially as major players like Fidelity and BlackRock increase their involvement in the space. He likens the current state of the crypto industry to past energy markets, where slow-moving, long-term contracts shifted to fast-paced, high-volume trades. Cardone also notes that industries like mining and farming consistently have low profit margins, which is why prominent investors, such as Michael Saylor, prefer to invest in Bitcoin directly rather than in Bitcoin mining companies. Stay tuned until the end of the video to hear Gary Cardone explain why he believes Bitcoin is the future and represents the financial freedom many are seeking.
Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself first ahead of the crowd. We have created the ultimate step-by-step crypto cheat guide that will guide you this bull run. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Now by clicking on the link below to get your exclusive copy just under $10.
We saw instant reaction from both China and Russia, loosening their approach on crypto. And I think what happened this week with Telegram, with the CEO of Telegram, really highlights the reason why Bitcoin is so important. Self-custody is important. And also having the battle that we are most certainly going to have over what are rights of human beings to move between countries. See, France is now showing us, oh, wow, the whole world's changing now. People, like what's going on in Brazil, like, oh, wow, who is Brazil acting on behalf of? That's my first question. Who and what are they trying to do? Because I don't remember a time in recent history or any time that where a South American country grabbed Starlink assets for a shareholder in X, and they're penalizing shareholders in two different companies to censor and control the behavior of X. So the game theory is already starting. The game theory is out of control right now. People are politically responding. They're financially responding. The CBDCs are on steroids. And then you have the CBDC world, which is, I think, if you think through it very carefully, I like the CBDC. And the reason I like it is because you're pitting up the Fed with JP Morgan Chase. I mean, why do we need Visa, MasterCard, JP Morgan Chase if the Fed's doing everything direct with their own banking? They just make their own fees. Let's let them go, dude. They're going to rip each other to shreds. Like, the banks will hate this, okay? There's no reason for Bank of America. I'm just buying CBDCs. This whole theory of, hey, I'm going to get you on a CBDC. I'm going to give you $1,000 a month, and you got to do all your, okay, so let's say everybody goes there. But JP Morgan's going to freak out. And every middle value player, why does anybody need Visa or MasterCard in that scenario? I think you will have some of the largest corporations yelling foul because governments now are trying to get involved with retail. I mean, it starts, the whole supply chain, the way it's been constructed for 300 years is being obliterated. It's showing the stress of all this traffic, digital traffic on analog legacy rails needing to be touched everywhere. Reports here that, good luck. I think you're trying to launch I think you're trying to use a Fred Flintstone car the big old 400-ton stone car, and you're laying it right on top of the UK M25 going, okay, compete. Good luck. CBDC, you think they're going to operate 24/7? Sundays? You Europeans, dude, you love your bank holidays. You ain't working on Saturdays, Sundays, and bank holidays. No, it's not going to happen. Unless you turn everything to automation, which gets us to the same point. We win this game, dude. We win this game. People just have to be, like you brought up the donation. I've gotten a lot of heat for that. I've got heat for it from the Bitcoin community, which I was really surprised by. Because I'm like, hey, I could have done this right directly to Trump, dude. And my family, my children would have known him. I did this through Bitcoin, specifically to send a message to the Bitcoiners. I mean, I met with Saylor, right, 30 minutes before that. He's like, hey, man, he can't do that. He cannot do that. He's a public company. He's smart to stay out of the politics. But a guy like me can do it. And it got me to the table with every miner and some of the major players in the space. I want to help this space grow. So I'm not interested in having 1,000 Bitcoin, Robin, and never selling my Bitcoin. I'm going to make a lot of money, and then I'm going to reinvest this money in breaking the old system down so that your kids and my kids in the future is better. I have a couple of wealthy friends that are in Bitcoin. We would like 5%. How do you grade the performance of the education? If I can get a congresswoman or a senator to go, it's an F, then what government official is going to stop me if I come in with Michael Saylor and a couple of other guys and go, hey, there's a few billionaires here, and we want 5% of the 80 billion. That's $400 million. We want to use that as a test case. We're going to give you $400 million in Bitcoin to sit in a trust, and we're going to be held to performance metrics for our new school and the budget. That part of the budget we take from you, we're going to measure our 400 million against the other 80 billion. Now, first thing is really cool. The other 80 billion has zero metrics by which they measure any of this. So immediately, us just even having a metric, we win. And we send a signal. You cannot give $80 billion out and not have metrics. Have no way of measuring whether that $80 billion is being spent well or not. This is a game we can win here, man. I mean, really, if you think about the logic of that, wow, they're saying it's an F. Why would you reinvest in an F? Huh? Why would you reinvest in an F when you have a guy over here going, hey, I'll compete with all of them. I'm going to put a politician in a position where they can't say no, man, right? You just can't say no to that. It's like, wow, that's a great deal. Who do you know that wouldn't do that deal? I think people would fund my business. Go, most certainly, Gary will hold a school that will outrun in intelligence the results of every other school system. I don't think it's an F. Can't do worse than an F. Somebody made a comment to me, and they're like, dude, you have navigated the extremes of Bitcoin so well. And when they said that, I was like, it has been walking a tight wire. And walking a tight wire and also holding on to one's own ethics and viewpoint. I mean, I have attempted to be not massively offensive to anyone. I'm coming into y'all's business and your industry. I didn't create this industry. I'm coming in. I'm quite happy that it's here. I'm not here to disrespect anyone. However, my investment now is of a level that I don't care if you've been here 15 years. If you weren't smart enough to buy 10,000 Bitcoin at $300 and then continue buying Bitcoin all the way up to 69, don't blame me. It's not my fault. But you better stay the fuck out of the screwing the market up. The people that came in here early on, they have to admit, most of them actually won a lottery ticket. And cool. But a lottery ticket doesn't mean you're a business executor. It doesn't mean you're an industrialist. It doesn't mean you're a reformer or that you can restructure large industries. And the way most of the Puritans in Bitcoin contemplated peer-to-peer in the white paper is very different than the way I interpreted it. What I think they misunderstood and missold was that we were going peer-to-peer and it was going to happen tomorrow morning, and we were going to have real estate with fungibility trading in tokens tomorrow morning, and Bitcoin was going to be at $8 million tomorrow morning. And the entire Fed was going to implode, the US dollar would cease to exist, and peace and sanity would spread across the world as if Jesus reappeared. It's just not real for me, okay? Bitcoin is not going to solve every world problem. I know people with 10,000 Bitcoin that are absolute assholes. They're not nice people, and they're not going to add any value to the future. They don't invest in anything. They're holding on. I will sell every one of my Bitcoin for sure. And you know why? Because I actually want to help the world. I don't want to hold on to all this shit, dude. What for? I don't need a yacht. I don't need to be Mark Zuckerberg, right? Who's probably going to die just like Steve Jobs, regretting what he did. I don't want to die with regrets, man. I want to be a freaking hero. I want to be somebody that's, oh wow, you know what? He did a good job, man. He wasn't a prostitute. He wasn't, like, no matter how much money he did or didn't have, like, I should be able to speak my piece and help the world and not be worried about someone taking stuff from me. And so I think that seems very, it has been toxic. Now, I happen to believe that toxicity is already past its peak, and we will only see improvement from here. We will see a more muted message from the early players because their voices are just simply no longer going to have any oxygen. It's just not even going to, it's a throw a penny in a freaking ocean. Yes, it did make a ripple, but now some of the people will be really offended by that. Whatever, I'm just sharing the way I see this happening. The wallet business was destroyed on January the 11th, self-custody with ETF. The lending protocol market, hopefully for Bitcoin, is going to accelerate. It's in nascent stage because of the ETF. But this whole, hey, you can't be, you're not a good Bitcoiner if you're not holding everything on a seed phrase in your backyard, is, really pretty hypocritical when you're literally running businesses and you call yourself a Bitcoin only guy and you're actually running businesses that has nothing to do with decentralization. It's, one fucking affiliate trade behind another. And it's like, hey, you guys are no different than any of the other scammers. So there's a lot of hypocrisy that's going on in this industry. I'm stunned that we're at $1 trillion with the behavior. And actually very bullish. I was like, whoa, you got to $1 trillion with all this stuff going on? I'm pretty sure $10 trillion, dude, 6 years. It 10x's, Bitcoin 10x's in 6 years, 10 trillion, it will absolutely be $8 to $12 trillion size.
Gary Cardone criticizes some early Bitcoin adopters for hypocrisy, pointing out that while they promote decentralization, they often run centralized businesses. He believes the toxicity within the Bitcoin community has peaked and will diminish as the cryptocurrency goes mainstream. As Bitcoin adoption expands, Cardone expects it to grow through new financial products like ETFs. Despite the challenges and perceived hypocrisy, he remains optimistic about Bitcoin's future, predicting that it could potentially reach a market cap of $81 trillion within the next 6 years. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.